Taylor, for 2022, has released 3 new GT models to the ever-growing GT lineup. Today, we put them all to the test. Stay tuned. Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name is Chris McKee.
And I'm Cooper Greenberg.
We're here with Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, like our videos. If you'd like to support the channel, visit our Teespring store linked below for custom designed t-shirts. So we've done a video introducing all of the new models that Taylor has introduced so far for 2022. Now we wanted to follow up and really dive into the GT lineup that is growing exponentially with new models so that you can hear for yourself the differences with all of them. So if you haven't seen that previous video, go check that out. But we're going to dive in depth with the models today. So I have one of them. This is the new GTe Mahogany, featuring solid construction with mahogany top, sapele back and sides. You've got...
I got the GT611E.
Limited, so keep that in mind. This is a limited edition model so far for this year. I wouldn't be surprised if it's very popular that they add it to the lineup. In Cooper's opinion, they should.
Absolutely. I love this guitar so much.
It's a great guitar. But in addition to that, we also have one more. Here, I'll take that.
You take that.
And that is the GTe Blacktop, which in this particular case also has walnut back and sides with a spruce top instead of urban ash back and sides with a spruce top, which is what the normal GTe urban ash has.
Yeah.
And so that's these 3, right? Yeah, are the new additions to the lineup. And then we also have the GT Urban Ash, along with the GT 811E and the GT K21E. So that rounds out the current selection of GT models.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So if you don't know, this is where it all started. This is the GT Urban Ash. This is a non-E version, and I just adore this guitar. Taylor introduced this to be the tweener. Mm-hmm. It's like my son Sean. He's not quite a teenager yet, right?
Yeah.
But
and as you said today, he's not the best dancer in the family. So.
Well, Christian is the best dancer in the family. So yeah, this is kind of a Goldilocks guitar. It's meant to be bigger than a GS Mini, smaller than a typical full-size Taylor. It's a lot like a parlor guitar, but it's not shaped like most parlor guitars. And in fact, just like the inspiration for the one you're holding, it is a grand orchestra body that's shrunken down.
It's a Geo Mini.
It's a Geo Mini instead of a GS Mini. Now, it does have different bracing in this too. So part of this design that Andy Powers came up with was trying to make a very fun guitar, very playable guitar that sounded good, had resonance, and could take advantage of being an all-solid wood instrument. Yeah. I've heard him in an interview talking about the fact that he tried making some solid wood GS Minis because people asked for solid wood GS Minis for a long, long time, pretty much from the moment the GS Minis came out. And the problem was, in Andy's opinion, is that it's just not big enough to really benefit. He made some, and they weren't really better guitars. Yeah. They were just as good and more expensive. But by increasing the size just a bit and doing some cool stuff with the bracing, you can get a resonant, very fun guitar, which is what we believe the GS Minis are these fun little guitars that really does take advantage. So they feature C-class bracing, different than V-class. It's like half of V-class. It's a cantilever bracing that really allows the bass side and really the whole top of the guitar to move more and be more vibrant, more resonant. And the pairing on these, on the first ones that came out, Spruce and this Urban Ash, was really nice. This is a wood that's chamois ash. It's basically a bunch of trees that were getting cut down around LA, is my understanding, that no one would have ever thought to make an instrument out of, but turned out to be really good.
Sounds great.
Sounds like some of the best mahogany. It has a great look to it as well. And then the other in-betweener stuff is the scale length and the nut width. So one of the you really love playing that guitar, right?
I do,
the feel of it. A lot of that comes from the scale length. This is longer scale length than the GS Mini, shorter scale length than a typical full-size short scale Taylor would be. And even the nut is kind of just like in between. I don't even want to talk about the measurements because it's like fractionals, measurements. they had to like create new tooling for, just because it's like right in between 1 3/4 and 1 11/16. So very, very cool guitar as a platform. And we've already seen that they've expanded from this. The next one was the 811, GT 811. So basically taking this body shape, this design, and moving it into the 800 series with those tone woods, those aesthetics.
Yeah.
Then doing it again with the GT K21E, which is one of my favorite guitars of 2021.
Awesome guitar.
Yeah. And now one of your favorite guitars for 2022 already. This is going to be on your top 5, and
Let's
we're barely into the year.
Peek to a year from now.
Yeah. Come December, Cooper's favorite guitar, GT 611.
We don't have any more. Yeah.
So they've done the 811, they've done the K21. Now a limited version of the 600 series, modeled after its big brother, the 618E.
Yeah.
And beautiful aesthetic. So we talked at length about this, but you've got your vintage natural kind of edge burst stain that they're doing, which is just awesome. Pale maple binding to complement that. Ebony, koa, and abalone rosettes and purfling. Just
come on.
Beautiful flamed maple. Yeah. Maple neck.
It's a very grandiose kind of look, and that's why I love the mission inlays. Come on.
My favorite part, the Alamo inlays.
I love the 818 and the 618 so much because it's this massive, like, hey, look at me guitar. I mean, I don't gravitate towards those guitars typically, but I mean, you think about like an SJ200.
Yeah.
That's a luxurious, grandiose look at me guitar.
And I will argue there's something about the Geo design.
Yeah.
Where it's a jumbo, but it's a jumbo that was made to be very responsive.
Yeah.
And so when you compare like a 618 to like an SJ200, it's more resonant and it's still got all of that volume, but it's like it walks into the room to hushed discussion, and everyone knows the big guy just walked in.
The other thing is with maple like this, like you want to see every inch of that because, I mean, as you just saw,
it's beautiful.
That's crazy. And it almost sometimes to me feels like a shame that there's such a dark sunburst on an SJ200 that you can barely even see all the details. And sometimes the prettiest parts are right on the edges that get cut out. This is like again, that grandiose thing, but it's showing off every piece of this wood with just a light little, tinting around the edge.
Yeah.
Maple neck, Alamo Music inlays. It's just made for this store,
Yeah. Fantastic. So we've got this now as part of the numbered series from Taylor, and then the GT line, like the American Dream line, is growing at an affordable price point with the Blacktop, the Mahogany. There's a ton of choices. Which one should you go with? I think depends upon price, aesthetics that appeal to you, and the sound. So we've put together this long run of demos for you so that you can hear a comparison between each and every one, because I promise you, each one has its own unique flavor to offer you. So put on some headphones or listen on some very good speakers so you can hear the differences. Check it out. So there you have a comparison with all of Taylor's current GT models that are in production, including this sweet little limited guitar that we are already falling in love with. Each one's a little different. And I will admit, I have a sweet spot for this original Urban Ash. When Taylor was introducing this, it was in the middle of the pandemic, and they shipped one to me in a locked gig bag. I've told the story.
Yeah, I love that.
And I pulled it out and played, watched a live stream, and then spent the rest of the day playing the guitar. And then I had the guitar. They kind of forgot that I had it, or they took a long, long time saying, hey, you still have that guitar. And I really, really hoped they would forget I had the guitar. It was really awesome. I mean, I loved having it, and it became, I played it more often than my GS Mini. It was the guitar I was constantly reaching for and playing.
Wasn't there a funny combination to that lock?
Yeah, it was the 411. Yeah,
nice.
It was the 4. I was like, oh, I could have figured that out.
Dude? Yeah,
so,
it's crazy that last year we got GTs and American Dreams, and then even just going into this coming year, it's such an extension of like what could be possible in these lines.
Yeah,
it's really, really cool. I want to see like a fall limited 2022 Lutz Sassafras 711.
Ooh, that could be cool.
And you can only, and it's paired with, you get a Slurpee too from 711.
From 711.
Yeah,
that's great. Well, I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to put out a challenge. I want to throw down the gauntlet. If you're watching this and you haven't yet had the opportunity to play a GT, then find a way. Purchase one, and if you don't like it, you send it back to Alamo Music. That's fine. Go into your local music store that is a Taylor dealer and play one. I suspect people have kind of coupled them with the GS Mini because they were designed to be a little bit bigger and solid wood and stuff. They're not. They are different, and they are fantastic guitars. A lot of people who've bought them have fallen in love with them.
Yeah.
And I think people need to just get out there and try it and find out just what a fun guitar. They're just a fun guitar to play.
It just gives you more options. You know, like GS Mini, we know is like one of our favorites. Y'all know it's one of our favorites. This has so much more room to grow as a line because of the solid wood and all the different options you can get through the numbered series, limited stuff, Koa stuff. It's just really nice, you know.
Well, if you want more information about these guitars, go to our website. It is,
I think it's alamomusic.com. I've been trying to remember that.
Yeah. And you can chat with someone live on there. You can get photos. You can find out what we have in stock and ask questions if you're not sure what would work best for you, because we want to help you find the guitar that works. At the end of the day, the best guitar in the world is the one that you're playing. And if you want to play a GT, there's a whole bunch of flavors, and we can help you find which one would work for your style of music, your aesthetic choices, the tone you like, and whatnot. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and like the videos. You want to do that because we'll be doing more comparisons of the new Taylors that have come out, and you want to get notified when those new videos drop. As always, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.